Yung Tulfo brothers, Senator Risa, to be fair, sa opening ng statement niya, sinabi niya, walang katotohanan yan, Chacha. Pero napakanipis nung pagtanggi niya doon sa walang katotohanan yung Chacha. 80%, 90% ng kanyang pagsagot is on the bastos daw yung video ni Aimee. Ganon. Ang klaro na nagsabi na ayaw nila ng CONAS is si Tito Soto. Although si Tito Soto, ginugoyo lang rin tayo nito ni Tito Soto. Kasi ang sinasabi ni Tito Soto, hindi ako agree sa CONAS, hindi ako agree sa CONAS. Sinabi niya, okay daw sa kanya na baguhin yung qualification ng age ng kandidato. O edi agree ka sa CONAS, basta ipapasok yung gusto mo. 'Di ba? So itong si Tito Soto, ilalagay ko rin siya sa category ni sa category ni Risa Ontiveros, JV Ejercito at saka ng Tulfo brothers. 'Di ba? Ilalagay ko rin sila doon. So, ibig sabihin, itong kay Tito Soto, okay rin siya okay rin siya sa CONAS. Basta ipapasok yung gusto niyang amendment, which is mapababa yung age ng qualification ng presidentiable. 'Di ba? Okay. Bam Aquino, Kiko Pangilinan, very clear, ayaw nila ng Constitutional Assembly. Mig Subiri, very clear. Sinabi rin niya, Win Gatchalian, sinabi niya, ayaw ko niyan. Okay? Ayaw ko niyang Constitutional Assembly. So, nakita mo rin, nagsilabasan din kung ano eksakto yung stand nila pagdating dun sa CONAS. And naamoy ko na talaga na, bantayan niyo yan Raffy Tulfo, Erwin Tulfo, JV Ejercito, and Risa Ontiveros. 4 of them sounds like mag-a-agree sila sa Constitutional Assembly.
Nakikinig ako sa inyo kanina yung usapan nyo about kakampings. Parang napasimple lang ng solusyon sa problema nila, but it will take sacrifice. Kasi nga, parang nakakalimutan nila that the reason na nag-emerge yung Duterte is because of all their failures in the past, yung failures of their leadership, kasi yung failures ng mga leaders nila in the past. Parang nakakalimutan nila na yun yung dahilan. And wala silang choice na at this point in time, history is not on their side. Ganun. Parang kasi you're now suffering the consequences of all your past actions, the past actions of all your leaders, na yung lahat ng mga kapabayaan nila, lahat ng mga mistakes, mga kasi mga naganap ng panahon ni Noynoy na parang I think very fresh, especially me na millennial. Sobrang fresh pa sa memory ko yung lahat ng kapabayaan ng ng mga leaders nila. And nasa point tayo ng history ng Pilipinas na yung mga millennials or people who lived through the liberal administration, we have the power. And we're dictating the terms, and we're the reason why the Dutertes remain in power, and we're gonna keep them in power kasi we like what we saw during the Duterte administration. Nakakalimutan nyo na mga kakampings na what you're suffering right now is the consequence of all the kapabayaan, lahat na ginawa ng mga leaders nyo before. And I think what you should do sa inyo is to have some, instead of like conniving with like Bongbong and eating his tae or eating yung suka nila, I think what you should do is to straighten up your politics, have some self-reflection, go back internally, what went wrong. Parang feeling ko hindi nagkaroon ng ganung face yung mga campings. Parang kaagad ang sinisisi nila na populism, ganon yung mga sisi nila, parang never silang gumawa ng mali. Yun yung parang nakikita ko sa parang never silang nagkamali, wala silang self-reflection. At I feel like that's what they need. Ako if I'm makakamping, I would not want to have a Faustian bargain ba yun with the Bongbong administration, because I know in the future it will come back and bite me in the ass.
Jan Suwing, yan, akyat ka.
Umakyat ka dyan, Suwing.
Teka, i-send ko yung link sa kanya. Makichismis ka na. Ang maganda lang today, ang exciting lang today, yung majority ngayon sa Senate, naka-ano sila, no, naka-fighting form sila. Kasi, after what Amy did, nilabas ni Amy yung kanyang, video presentation. Di ba, balak ninyo, di ba, gusto niyo mag-con-as, ganyan, di ba, ito na yung gusto niyo gawin, ganyan. Immediately after that, nagwala yung mga minority senators. Actually, sa totoo lang, if you're going to listen to the minority senators, hindi naman lahat sa kanila doon very very opposed sa CONAS eh. Yung Tulfo brothers, si Risa pala nagsabi pala siya ng nagsabi pala hindi ako agree sa Chacha, pero parang very weak, parang one sentence lang yung sinabi niya for that na hindi siya agree sa CONAS. And then the rest, they are even JV Ejercito. Ang reklamo nila kay Amy is unparliamentary daw yung video. Unparliamentary daw, parang hindi dapat ganyan, hindi dapat pinapayagan yung ganyan sa isang parliamentary environment. Pangit yung ganyan, nagbababuyan tayo, nag-aano tayo. Yun yung at least 4 senators, ganun yung tono nila. Yung Tulfo brothers, Senator Risa, to be fair, sa opening ng statement niya, sinabi niya, walang katotohanan yan, Chacha. Pero napakanipis nung pagtanggi niya doon sa walang katotohanan yung Chacha. 80%, 90% ng kanyang pagsagot is on the bastos daw yung video ni Amy. Ganon. Ang klaro na nagsabi na ayaw nila ng CONAS is si Tito Soto. Although si Tito Soto, ginugoyo lang rin tayo nito ni Tito Soto. Kasi ang sinasabi ni Tito Soto, hindi ako agree sa CONAS, hindi ako ga-agree sa CONAS. Sinabi niya, okay daw sa kanya na baguhin yung qualification ng age ng kandidato. Hindi agree ka sa CONAS, basta ipapasok yung gusto mo. 'Di ba? So itong si Tito Soto, ilalagay ko rin siya sa category ni sa category ni Risa Ontiveros, JV Ejercito at saka ng Tulfo brothers. 'Di ba? Ilalagay ko rin sila doon. Ang tawag dito? Yan, sinend ko na sa Messenger yung link. Ayan, sali ka. Ayun. Pwede namang hindi ka na magpakita. Pwede mo na hindi na i-on yung camera mo pagka nahiya ka. Ay, pag pinapanood ko kasi yung live ni Jan Writer, ang tawag dito, boses lang niya parate. Ayun. So, ibig sabihin, itong kay Tito Soto, okay rin siya sa CONAS. Basta ipapasok yung gusto niyang amendment, which is mapababa yung age ng qualification ng presidentiable. 'Di ba? Okay. Bam Aquino, Kiko Pangilinan, very clear, ayaw nila ng Constitutional Assembly. Mig Subiri, very clear. Sinabi rin niya, Win Gatchalian, sinabi niya, ayaw ko niyan. Okay? Ayaw ko niyang Constitutional Assembly. So, nakita mo rin, nagsilabasan din kung ano eksakto yung stand nila pagdating dun sa CONAS. And naamoy ko na talaga na, bantayan niyo yan Raffy Tulfo, Erwin Tulfo, JV Ejercito, and Risa Ontiveros. 4 of them sounds like mag-a-agree sila sa Constitutional Assembly. And then, Lito Lapid, on the other hand, said that he doesn't support, although he's part of the minority, he doesn't support the motion striking off the record yung video ni Amy Marcos. Okay? So, nagngalngalan na yung minority, yung 10 minority, nagngalngalan na sila. And lahat sila, no, malaking part na sinasabi nila, parang nakakabastos naman tong ano ni ano, talagang naiyakan galore talaga sila, ganyan. And I think that's the intention of Senator Amy, no, i-offend ng todo-todo tong mga senador na to so that they have to stand up, say their piece at boljakin ng bonggang-bongga si Amy. Na parang ikaw naman napakamaldita mo, bastos-bastos mo, propaganda, kineso, ganyan-ganyan. Marcoleta stood up and objected the motion. Sabi ni Marcoleta, can we clarify ano exactly yung gusto niyong pa-strict off the record? Would you like the entire speech of Senator Amy? Yung video ba? Yung entire video ba? Gusto niyong strike off the record? Kasi marami doon nagsasalita mga senador din. Words naman nila yung mga video doon. So kapag ka sinabi mo ba na gusto mong ipatanggal yung video off the record, are you saying na yung ibang mga sinabi dyan ng mga senador, tatanggalin rin natin sa record na sinabi nila yon? And Marcoleta brilliantly used Risa Ontiveros as an example. Nung sinabi niya, I think that was in a press conference where Risa said, may logo yan ng Senate sa likod. Sabi ni Risa, as long as kandidato si Inday Sara, the Duterte presidency is a clear and present danger. Diba?
So bakit nag-object? Yun ang ano ko is, bakit ka mag-object, Risa?
Correct. Hi! Ayan na siya.
Hello. Hi mga mamishi.
Hello.
Ang hina ng boses. Hindi ko marinig.
Hindi mo kami marinig?
Bakit?
Kailangan mo i-change yung yung output mo, yung
sorry na kami.
Speaker. Oo.
I cannot hear.
Ay, ganon. Teka. Change mo yung output mo output.
Ayan. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Ayan. Hello po.
Ayan. Naririnig mo na kami? Ayan, perfect. Ayan. So, anyway, ayun na. Napanood mo ba yung nangyari sa Senate today?
Oo. Parang nag-live post ako habang wala lang.
Nakakulo. What was your favorite part? What was your favorite part sa nangyari today?
Ano ba? Yung mga reactions. Si Pinky.
Yung
umamin siya na siya yung source. Tsaka si Tita Soto. Nakikinig ako sa inyo kanina yung usapan nyo about kakampings. Parang napasimple lang ng solusyon sa problema nila. But it will take sacrifice. Kasi nga, parang nakakalimutan nila that the reason na nag-emerge yung Duterte is because of all their failures in the past, yung failures of their leadership, pati yung failures ng mga leaders nila in the past. Parang nakakalimutan nila na yun yung dahilan. And wala silang choice na at this point in time, history is not on their side. Ganun. Parang kasi you're now suffering the consequences of all your past actions, the past actions of all your leaders. Na yung lahat ng mga kapabayaan nila, lahat ng mga mistakes, mga pati mga naganap ng panahon ni Noynoy na parang I think very fresh, especially me na millennial. Sobrang fresh pa sa memory ko yung lahat ng kapabayaan ng ng mga leaders nila. And nasa point tayo ng history ng Pilipinas na yung mga millennials or people who lived through the liberal administration, we have the power. and we're dictating the terms, and we're the reason why the Dutertes remain in power, and we're gonna keep them in power kasi we like what we saw during the Duterte administration.
Mm-mm.
Nakakalimutan nyo na mga kakampings na what you're suffering right now is the consequence of all the kapabayaan, lahat na ginawa ng mga leaders nyo before. And I think what you should do sa inyo is to have some, alam mo, instead of like conniving with like Bongbong and eating his tae or kain or eating yung suka nila, I think what you should do is to like straighten up your politics, like
Yeah.
have some self-reflection, go back internally, what went wrong. Parang feeling ko hindi nagkaroon ng ganung face yung mga campings. Parang kaagad ang sinisisi nila na populism, ganon yung mga sisi nila, parang never silang gumawa ng mali. Yun yung parang nakita ko sa parang never silang nagkamali, wala silang self-reflection. At I feel like that's what they need. Ako if I'm makakamping, I would not want to have an Faustian bargain ba yun with the Bongbong administration, because I know in the future it will come back and bite me in the ass. What I would do is to go back to like yung bumalik ako sa roots ko, reflect on my politics, lalo na ngayon yung politics nila, even their politics is it's not they're on the wrong side of history. We can see how like mga tao, yung mga political beliefs nila are totally going against what they're pushing for, and it's not their priority right now yung politics nila. Ano ba yung politics nila? Like they're focusing on di wala mga more esoteric or high level needs na parang elitist na mga LGBT ganyan, mga before you fulfill those kinds of needs, I think you should go back to what the Filipino people actually need. This is yung ma-fulfill mo na yung material conditions nila.
Yeah.
But so yung kahit yung politics nila is very much opposed or it's not in line with where history is going. So I understand kung bakit they're on the losing side right now. And yeah, I would not want to connive or ally with Bongbong kasi first and foremost yung identity nila as kakampings is literally yung fundamental nila is is being like anti-Marcos, tapos now you're destroying your identity. So
and now you are showing to everyone na negotiable pala yun kasi
yes.
Pala, tawag dito, pag Sara presidency pala, pro-Marcos pala kayo, di ba?
And
30 years nyo sinigaw yung pagiging anti-Marcos ninyo, and then all of a sudden, kapag ka-threatened pala kayo na magkakaroon ng Duterte presidency, kaya nyong kalimutan yung pinaglaban nyo ng 3 decades for that?
Ikaw, Miss Joey, UP ka din. Alam mo kung yung all the art, all the books that were written about like Marcos, all the movements, everything na parang ginawa nila to mystify yung pagiging against nila sa mga Marcos. Sayang lahat. And just because they hate Duterte, the Dutertes. Like ano bang ginawa mali ni Digong? Yung lang naman nila war on drugs, ganon, yung human rights, which we all know. I mean, mga Pilipino nakita they know what's real, they know what the lies are. We've seen that we live in the country, nakita namin yan araw-araw, and we know that everything na sinasabi nila sa international media, whatever, exaggerated, maraming kasinungalingan, maraming propaganda. The Filipino people know. And so
over the kakamping, I would go back, have some self-reflection, and like wait for my time. But at the same time, siguro adjust yung politics nila, understand why people vote or they support the Dutertes. Kasi yun yung hindi nila maintindihan. Akala nila, inisip lang na, ay, bobo kasi yung bobo sila, ganyan. Just because, di ba, parang what you should do is to understand why people keep voting for the Dutertes, why people are parang may attraction sila to the kind of politics that Duterte has. And yeah, study it. Bakit ganon? Bakit ito yung gusto ng mga tao? And maybe you will find your answers. And maybe, who knows in the future, parang makaka-relate na kayo kung bakit ganito bumoto yung mga Pilipino. Instead of like continuously parang
Alam mo
branding
mangyayari.
them like bobo, ganyan.
Alam mo mangyayari
Yes, ma'am.
dyan. Yung mangyayari sa mga campings, yung mga nangyayari ngayon sa MAGA. Yung remember na the MAGA people, the MAGA influencer was so like, oh my God, si Trump na ang makakabasag ng ng elite
Sumpa.
emirate, ng makakahinto ng endless wars, etc. Etos garbanzos. Di ba, they were so into the idea that Trump is the anti-establishment candidate.
That's how he was sold eh. Ganun siya
That's how
binenta.
he was sold. And then, last year, biglang nagsilagasan lahat ng mga MAGA influencers. Si Tucker Carlson, si Megyn Kelly, si Candace Owen, si Kirk Dow, papunta na rin doon. So, if you're gonna look at it, that's going to be their progression. Well,
Pero may very very important na factor doon na missing sa mga pink eh. Yung MAGA kasi, they are very quick to switch kasi may reasonable yung mga influencers nila. Yung pagbenta nila, kasi they truly believe, nung time na binebenta nila si Trump, they truly
they believe that that's gonna happen.
Hindi na mangyayari. Pero nung
Hindi, pero
nakita nila na path of Trump, they were also quick on
ang mangyayari kasi niyan is they're still looking at this Marcos as just as tactical.
Mm-hmm.
Ganun din naman sa MAGA eh. Hindi naman sila immediate eh. Meron din silang ganyan na lang to, tactical emirate. And then eventually when nag-give way na yun because puno-puno na ng contradiction. Kasi ngayon ang contradiction pa lang nila is yung kay BBM. Eh, natutolerate pa nila ang contradiction niyan. Pero, kaya nga, when as time goes by, mag-iipon at may ipon yung contradiction, it is actually going on. If you talk to ordinary kakampings, they are already seeing the contradictions. Bakit hindi kayo nag-aano sa flood control? Bakit hindi si Romualdez? Bakit it's gathering moss. Kaya nga yung mga kakampings, yung mga leaders ng mga campings, maybe they are underestimating their followers. And that is the greatest mistake that you could ever have. That is actually the mistake of Trump right now, that he underestimated that his own followers could have blind loyalty to him. Just because he does it. But the thing is, his supporters were actually believing in his supporters are not after Trump, but after an idea
that he promoted.
And Trump is only someone who could further that idea and turn it into a policy. Pero once Trump no longer instantiating that idea, then the MAGA folks nagsilagasan sila because they're not loyal to Trump. They're loyal to the idea. Kaya nga itong mga campings ngayon, magkakaroon kayo ng hiwalayan ng dekolor at deputi. Yun ang mangyayari niyan. Magkakahiwalayan, and the leaders are underestimating their followers. Siguro sa tingin nila, kasi mga influencers naman natin, kaya natin tong itali na lang sa leash. Kaso yung mga influencer are not influencing.
Correct. Actually, yun pa yung isang weak nilang na point na hindi kasi present doon sa mga pink yung totoong promoter ng idea nila. Kasi wala naman sila talaga solid idea eh. Their idea is kami naman sa pwesto. Yun lang eh. Yun lang talaga yung binibenta nila eh. Huwag kayo dyan kasi mas better kami dito sa pinipili ninyo. Pero when it comes to really substantiating yung kanilang pinopromote na idea, wala pag binalatan mo ng binalatan yung sinasabi nila, ampaw pala, wala naman pala talagang ino-offer. And yun yung ikinaka-turn off ng mga tao. Well, now, if they're going to continue ito din sa mga transactional politics with the Marcoses, they're going to lose their identity entirely. Kasi ang nangyari niyan, dahil sumubo ka na, sige, transactional lang tayo dito kay BBM para lang makabalik tayo sa pwesto. But of course, the Marcos administration or the camp of Mamshi and Popshi, they are not stupid na, papapasukin namin kayo dito pagkatapos bibigyan namin kayo ng access pagkatapos pag kayo nakapwesto, di naman kami siguro. Of course not. Hanggang lilinyahan lang rin kayo niyan kung hanggang saan lang kayo pwedeng pumasok. Yun yung tandaan nyo, mga pink. Di ba? Yun yung tandaan ninyo. Hindi nyo makukuha ito, hindi nyo makukuha yung pagbabalik sa power ng fair and square kung panay kayo transaction. And in the course of you doing this, you're going to lose your identity entirely and your own support base are going to abandon you eventually. Hindi naman lahat ng may mga pink naman kasi talaga na naniniwala doon sa mga pinopromote yung values na we should protect the human rights, we should take care of the weak, eneso, yung mga ganyan-ganyan, bigay tayo ng ayuda sa mga walang trabaho, yung mga ganong-ganong etos, yung mga higher ang tawag dito, karapatan that you are talking about like for the LGBT rights and whatever, di ba? Meron naman talagang naniniwala sa inyo dyan eh. That's the reason why you still have your clout. 'Di ba? Pero kung panay kayo transactional politics, panay kayo kaitsuka na para sige, ano lang to and justify the means, the end justifies the means, the end justifies the mean lang itong ginagawa namin. Transactional politics lang to until makabalik kami sa pwesto. Well, at the time na makarating kayo sa pwesto, baon na kayo sa utang, magbabayad na lang kayo, and you're not fighting for anything. Buti ba sana kung makarating kayo dun Buti ba sana kung makarating kayo na makapwesto ba talaga kayo? Kasi I don't think it is something that the Bongbong Marcos camp will ever allow. Diba? Ayun. Nananaginip sila ng gising kung ang feeling nila bibigyan sila ng space ng Marcos admin. Ayun.
I think yun din yung parang strength ni Inday. Kasi si Inday, parang may nag-message lang sa akin, hindi ko nasasabihin ko niya, pero parang siya, TV writer siya.
Uh-oh.
Si Inday talaga, parang hindi niya kino-compromise yung may paniniwala niya sa buhay. Parang there was one time ata na parang kino-convince siya na to ang tawag doon, na makipag-usap sa Jumerica. Parang ewan ko, baka makipag-negotiate ganun, parang pero hindi ayaw talaga niya. Which means kapag talaga nalampasan ni Inday lahat ng pagsubok, lahat ng mga binato sa kanya, she will be very very powerful kasi wala siyang utang. Parang si Digong na wala siyang utang nung naging president siya nung 2016, hindi siya nagkautang kahit mga oligarchs, ganon din si Sara, she's gonna be very powerful. Pero feeling ko, pero yung kaibahan niya kasi, si Digong kasi hindi naman niya naranasan yung naranasan ni Sara bago siya nakarating doon. Si Sara, ang daming niyang pinagdaanan, ang daming sumira sa kanya. And ewan ko, parang ayokong maniwala siguro or hindi ako naniniwala. Ayokong maniwala pero baka totoo naman. Pero ayokong maniwala na hindi siya gaganti. Sana gumanti siya. Parang yun yung petty na part ko na sana. Kasi it's not just about revenge, it's also about accountability. Parang yun na yung parang for 6 years yung sambayan ng Pilipino gustong, hindi naman gumanti, gustong to get even or parang gustong parang maano yung mga nagnakaw sa kaban ng bayan, gano'n. And sana ibigay niyo yun in the form of justice, parang in the form of justice, ganun. Hindi naman parang vengeance. And yeah, so I feel like pag nalampasan niya talaga lahat, it's gonna be scary. Not just powerful, but scary, hopefully. So,
Sana. Natutuwa ka ba dyan doon sa development sa Senate ngayon? Kasi yung 13 majority, it looks like na they are ready to charge. And today, I think na may in full display yung yung solidarity nung 13 nung majority senator, no? Kasi after nung video presentation ni Amy, bumanat si Marcoleta. So inobjectan niya yung motion ng ni Zubiri na strike out from the record yung kanyang video. Pagkatapos, immediately after that, nag-object din si Alan Peter. And Alan Peter used the opportunity to talk about yung talaga, pinoprotektahan ninyo ang Senado? Pinoprotektahan niyo ang Senado? Kung pinoprotektahan niyo ang Senado, bakit nung binugbog yung OSA employee, hindi naman kayo nagpakita ng concern and things like that? So parang, yung performance ni Amy, ni Marcoleta, tsaka ni Alan Peter, basically, unmask yung minority kung gaano sila ka-inconsistent dun sa position nila na parang, talaga, concern kayo, dapat parliamentary, dapat, ethical yung mga paggamit ng privileged speeches, kailangan, to protect the institution, ganyan. May mga ganun silang etos, pero, the display of, the display of their ideas nung tatlong senator, nalabhan talaga ng bongga yung minority. Nalabhan ng bongga yung minority, as in talagang hindi na sila nakaribat and at the end of the day, nung interpellation nung speech ni Amy, sabi na lang ni Amy, sige, total nag-commit naman kayong lahat na ayaw nyo ng Constitutional Assembly at gusto ninyo mangyari talaga ang election sa di sige, ako na magpapakumbaba. At hindi ko na papatanggal ko na sa record yung video na yan. Napunta pa tuloy yung huling halakhak kay kasi parang, wow, the magnanimity, di ba? The magnanimity talaga. Siya na ang nagkusa, di ba?
Oo.
Not without squeezing from the mouth of Tito Soto, of Ping Lacson, na yes, meron ngang CONAS talks. Di ba? At umamin pa nga si Ping Lacson na sa kanya galing yung information. Ayun. How do you think the 13 will go? How far do you think they can go, yung 13 senators na yan?
Yung 13. Well, yung nagsabi, di ba? Si Senator, ang pangalan nun? Camille Villar. Siya yung nagsabi na yung babaliktad, Judas. Parang may sinabi siyang ganun. Tama ba? Parang may sinabi siyang ganun, Judas. Which is to me, a very strong very strong word to use, or parang napaka-strong nung sinabi niya, which kung ako yung parang magbabasa, parang malalim yung hugot niya doon na yung Judas. So I feel like surely kung nasabi niya yon, hindi yun sa kanila magagalit, kasi before hindi sa kanila manggagaling, hindi sila yung like mga Villars yung pwedeng like bumaliktad ganon. So before kasi parang noong nag-start yung new majority, inisip ko lagi na sino ba yung malaki yung tendency na bumaliktad. Parang nasa sila lagi, parang sa list ko medyo nasa taas sila ng mga pwedeng bumaliktad. Pero nung sinabi niya yon, yung pronouncement niya na yon, parang medyo, okay, siguro ano siya, medyo solid itong ano. Kasi kasi para maano kung magiging solid yung 13, dapat individually kailangang i-review yung ano ba yung interests nitong mga to individually. So ako feeling ko yung Villars, baka malabo na sila since yung based lang dun sa pronouncements, but I can be wrong. Pero kasi
On top of that kasi on top of the pronouncement of Camille, yung mga Villar, they tried to dance with
true, yun din, ma'am.
'di ba?
Yun
They tried
din.
to dance. Pagkatapos, ang ginawa ng BBM admin, nagsalita lang si Manny Villar na kawawa ang ginawa kay Duterte, ganyan-ganyan. Kinancel yung mga energy contracts ng Villar. Pinilit silang mag-divest sa Prime Water. And then at the same time, pinagkakasuhan pa sila. So, gusto nyong makisayaw kami sa inyo, tapos nung nakisayaw kami sa inyo, tuloy naman kayo sa pang-iipit sa amin. So, what more to lose, di ba?
True. Tsaka parang it would not be a good look on them if parang they try to dance, tapos parang eto na, parang solid na, tapos parang mag-flip sila ulit. Parang I feel like aware na sila sa magiging consequences if they flip again. Kasi yung sabi mo, parang they already tried to please both sides. So I feel like solid na sila. Feeling ko yung pinaka easy yes to ma-convince ng mga minority na mag-join sa kanila is, again, I can be wrong, pero I have very limited knowledge. Pero this is just based on what I see in social media, what my readers tell me, or what I also read is si Cheese. But I want to know what you think about that.
Kay Cheese.
Oo, kay Cheese.
Apparently,
Cheese may working relationship na din siya with the House of Mamshi and Papshi.
Before,
diba?
oo. Actually, naisip ko nga, kasi nung si Cheese kasi yung to be fair dito kay Cheese, nung siya yung Senate President, iba pa kasi yung prioritization nun So, sino ba yung unang Senate President? Cheese and then, Mig Subiri and then Cheese Escudero, then Tito Soto, pagkatapos ngayon, Alan Peter Cayetano. Nung si Migs yung Senate President at saka si Cheese ang Senate President, ang mindset pa ng Senate President noon is, I have to manage the interest of all the senators, and then at the same time, para hindi ka pag-initan ng Malacanang, kailangan mo ring i-manage yung expectations ng Malacanang. So may pagkapokpok si Cheese Escudero at saka si Mig Subiri. To be fair naman din dito sa dalawang ito, kay Migs at saka kay Cheese Escudero, Migs opposed the PI. Hindi pumasa ang PI sa Senate Ayaw ng Senate na yan. And then, pagdating kay Cheese Escudero, he actually, at the time na pinalitan siya, kasi nga, di ba, yung forthwith, di ba, yung ayaw niyang mag-convene, yung pinanindigan ni yung forthwith yung hindi nyo kami mapipilit na mag-convene agad dun sa impeachment to the disappointment of Malacanang perhaps and other people in the House of Representatives. So, for me, ang ibig sabihin nun, si Migs at saka si Cheese, they show certain level of independence. Kung nakikiayon sila dito kay Mamshi at saka kay Papshi, perhaps that is because, siguro baka ayaw nilang masyadong pakialaman yung Malacanang, pakialaman sila ng Malacanang, hindi sila masyadong iharas, so that they would be able to do what they want to do in the Senate. Perhaps that's the reason. So kaya siguro itong to the extent na si Cheese Escudero ay naging cupbearer ni Lisa and things like that. I think mali pa rin sila na magpahawak sila sa Malacanang. Yung kumbaga itong si Cheese at saka si na parang they gave too much premium doon sa sasabihin ng Malacanang. I still think up until now, mali si Migs doon kasi dapat truly independent sila. Dapat you don't give a shit. Ganon. Dapat ganon. I think Cheese is starting to realize yung full independent Senate yung importance ng fully independent Senate. Because it was Cheese Escudero daw who convinced Alan Peter Cayetano to run as a Senate President.
Okay.
So, I think at this point, naintindihan na rin ni Cheese na, yung makipag-ano-ano ka sa Malacanang is not the way to go. Kasi at the end of the day, kapag ka nanindigan ka, iipitin ka pa rin naman yung mga yan eh. Pagka goody-goody ka sa kanila, pagkatapos hindi mo sila napagbigyan, iipitin ka pa rin naman yan eh, kahit naging goody-goody ka sa kanila. So, ibig sabihin, kahit anong favor ang ibigay mo sa Malacanang, once meron kang favor na hindi mo susundin, yari ka pa rin sa Malacanang. So, might as well go full independence. And I think Cheese Escudero learned it the hard way. Na ganun yung sitwasyon. So, kung ako naman kay Cheese Escudero, at this point in time, nakita mo na kung anong ginawa sa'yo ng Malacanang. 'Di ba? You gave a lot of favor to them. Dami kang inaccommodate sa kanila ng mga request, 'di ba? Grace mo ang account, ang committee on accounts mo, 'di ba? Ang committee on appropriation mo, yung mga bycam nangyari because of that. 'Di ba? So ibig ko sabihin, I'm very sure Cheese Escudero accommodated a lot of requests from Malacanang. But at the end of the day, nung hindi mo sinunod yun sa impeachment, nung nanindigan ka sa impeachment, what did they do to you? Kinasuhan ka sa COMELEC, pinapadisqualify ka. So they do not care. So I think at this point, kahit kasuhan, and this is true to other, true for other senators as well. Pag kinasuhan ngayon ng BBM admin, meron kayong redeeming value. Kasi nga, etong BBM admin na to, ganun sila. Pag hindi ka sumusunod sa kanila, pag inaaway mo sila, pag hindi maganda yung sinasabi mo sa kanila, kakasuhan ka nila. 'Di ba? And 2 years na lang yung iintayin mo. You just have to hold the line and make sure that there is going to be a 2028 election. And then after that, you can redeem yourself na, tinanggap ko lahat ng panggigipit under BBM administration and I made sure na magkakaroon ng 2028 election. So, maaari kang mapatawad ng public dyan kasi meron kang sakripisyo dahil pumayag kang maapi-api sa loob ng 2 taon. 'Di ba? Pero, ang hindi matatanggap ng tao, kapag kunwari, pumayag ka na magpagamit hanggang dulo dahil takot kang makasuhan. 'Di ba? Yun, wala kayong redeeming doon. After 2 years at si Inday na ang presidente, paano nyo i-redeem yung sarili ninyo na nakipagtsoktsakan kayo ng sagad kay Mamshi at Papshi? 'Di ba?
So, I agree. So medyo safe na siya si Cheese. Medyo stable.
Sana hindi magbago. Sana hindi magbago. Ayun. Pero kung ako si Cheese, dito na ako. Hindi na ako kakalas dito. Pinapa-disqualify ka, Cheese. Yung disqualification sa'yo will not affect only BBM's term, but also yung mga susunod na election cycle. Biruin mo, pag pinadisqualify ka niya, perpetual yun. 'Di ba? Yun ang gusto nilang gawin sa'yo, tanggalan ka ng karir.
So, actually nga parang
something like that.
Parang feeling ko nga, parang napaka-short-sighted nung 2 independent na naglumipat or parang decided to join the minority for the exact same reasons na sinasabi mo, ma'am, na parang 2 years na lang parang and I'm pretty sure itong mga senators na to, they're conducting their own surveys para ma-feel yung pulso ng mga tao and kung sino talaga yung gusto ng mga tao, kung sino and who's really parang who has like a wider support a wider support kung si Inday ba or any other candidate, and I feel like they have that information. So, and if you have that information and you still chose to side with BBM and to let him parang yun nga, maging instrumento ng corruption. So I feel like it's very short-sighted kasi like, of course, politicians sila, so they have future ambitions, ganyan. And you're shooting yourself on the foot if
Mm.
ganon. So, yeah. So, yun lang. I feel like,
At saka, ako feeling ko, hindi kaya ng minority ng tactic na kagaya ng ginawa ng majority.
which
Yung
is, anong tactic?
yung display nila of dominance sa plenary today, yung Amy Marcoleta Cayetano punches, I don't think they can do something like that eh. Prepared yung tatlo. Yung akala mo naka-slam dunk na si Amy, nung bumira si Marcoleta, hindi rin sila naka-recover. They weren't able to respond dun sa sinabi ni Marcoleta eh. Sinabi ni Marcoleta na, paano yung mga sinasabi ninyo sa labas ng, paano yung mga sinasabi ninyo as senator, mga press conference ninyo na sobrang offensive, ganyan-ganyan. Ano yun, papa-strike out of record rin natin yung mga ganyan? Every time na ma-offend kayo, papa-strike out natin sa record. Well, na-offend kayo sa sinabi ni Amy Marcos, hindi sabihin ninyo kung bakit kayo na-offend, pero ipapa-strike out ninyo, bakit hindi ba kayo nagsasalita ng mga hindi maganda? Diba? Kung umatak kayo, attack rin naman talaga kayo. And then the Alan Peter Cayetano moment na arte-arte ninyo, tanggol-tanggol kayo sa Senate as institution, ayaw nyo ng bastusan, pero nung nabugbog yung empleyado ng Senate, hindi nyo man lang kinall out yung NBI, hindi nyo man lang hindi ka nagpakita ng concern doon sa empleyado ng Senado na nabugbog ng NBI. Saan galing yung concern ninyo na, concern kami sa Senate as institution, ayaw naming nababastos. So, gago lang, 'di ba? And then
dun magaling si Alan Peter yung pag-call out ng hypocrisy. Parang strength niya 'yon talaga. Yes,
totoo. Oo, actually. Ang galing niya talaga doon. Magaling yung diskarte nila actually since nung launch ng since nung nag-decide sila na papuntahin si Bato. Ang galing ng mga strategy nila.
For sure, feeling ko may din yun eh. Hindi siya parang, hindi lang siya nangyari overnight. Parang siguro talagang pinag-isipan nila yung, yung coup. Kasi imposible na parang, okay, magkulang tayo, tapos parang wala na tayong plano or gagawin after. So, it somehow gives me, parang yung anxiety mo. Kasi di ba parang ngayon every week, parang, every weekend, yung mainstream media, biglang may mga article sila na may coup na magaganap sa Monday, ganyan. Parang this week, si Sherwin Gatchalian daw, ganyan. Parang last week naman, iba na naman. So parang every Monday, parang ikaw lagi ang kabado, may coup ba na mangyayari sa Senate, ganyan. So, and I feel like parang siguro, parang I medyo nare-relieve yung anxiety mo, knowing na pinag-isipan nila, tapos yun nga yung sinabi mo na parang, ang galing, very organized yung how they like yung mga ginagawa nila sa loob ngayon. So yun, as a